go to the National Senator Matt Canavan in Yeppoon. Matt, good to see you. Thanks for your time this morning. We've got some interesting environmental data that's been released, primarily from Tanya Plibersek. She says Labor is approving clean energy projects at twice the rate of previous years after the Feds sped up decisions to add more wind and solar projects. Does that make you feel nice and warm inside?
Well, it's not the solution to our problems, Peter, and our problems are that power prices are costing people too much, and our system now is quite unreliable, and we can't guarantee that the lights will stay on, especially after Liddell coal-fired power station shuts. A lack of investment in renewable energy is not one of the problems we've had over the last few years, including during the last coalition government. Australia has installed solar and wind power at a rate 4 times per person than the rest of the world. Those aren't my figures, they're the figures of the Australian Energy Market Operator. Tanya Plibersek should know those. These are just approvals, of course, they're not actually the construction of, but the actual construction of solar and wind has been running at a rate well above the rest of the world. And then yet we're in this state with really high power prices and unreliable power systems. Maybe, just maybe, the two are connected. What we actually need is what the Australian Energy Market Operator reported just a few weeks ago. We need what's called dispatchable capacity. We need investment in power systems that can be relied on 24 hours a day. Obviously, solar and wind can't do that, and therefore they can't fill this 8,000 megawatt gap that the market operator has identified over the next decade.
Jim Chalmers, he's done the rounds this morning, and he's also suggested that power bill relief will be coming for lower income earners in the upcoming budget. We did know that something like that has been coming for a while. What do you hope that relief is?
Well, first of all, why the wait? Why has the Treasurer been sitting on $1.5 billion that was appropriated by the Parliament just before Christmas? You might recall, Peter, that the politicians all got hauled back at great cost for an emergency sitting of Parliament before Christmas because of the power prices crushing family budgets. And we appropriated $1.5 billion to provide this release from the Federal Treasury. And it's now about 5 months since the Treasurer, or will be 5 months from the budget, since the Treasurer got that money, and he's been sitting on it in his back pocket. Why hasn't he released this funding to the Australian people? It was such an emergency before Christmas. It seems to me that he's just holding this back. He's holding back this money in his skyrocket just so he can look like Santa Claus again in May this year, when he already tried to get credit for this gift before Christmas last year.
Onto the New South Wales, the new Energy Minister, Penny Sharp. She hasn't been the Energy Minister for very long, but she's given comments yesterday suggesting when it comes to Liddell or Eraring that all options are still on the table. What are your thoughts on those comments?
Well, I welcome them overall. I'm not sure she was too open about Liddell, but I think it's becoming increasingly clear we can't afford the very, very large Eraring power station to shut just in a few years' time. We're just not ready for that. We don't have these gaps filled, as I mentioned earlier. In terms of Liddell, look, I just hope she does keep an open mind. I'm not sure we can keep it going. It's due to shut in 17 days' time, but we could put it in care and maintenance. We could mothball it and keep it as a backup plan just in case the worst happened. Why don't we do that? At the moment, AGL has another environmental application in front of Tanya Plibersek to blow the station up. That should be refused. We should do what the Germans did and just keep these online, just in case the worst happens.
Yeah, I mean, and the worst being power outs.
Exactly. That's potentially on the cards. No one can guarantee this won't happen right now, despite all the energy resources we have in this country. And so I might be wrong, Tanya Plibersek might be wrong, who knows who's right, but it's best to have plan Bs and Cs in life. At the moment, we're putting everything on plan A, which is just heaps and heaps of more and more solar and wind, which has kind of got us in this mess in the first place.
Yeah, no, fair enough point there. Matt Canavan, appreciate it. Thank you.